Hey, welcome again. It's me, Mr. Jemar de Cruz, and we are now in the week 5 to 6 of our course 10.0.0.16 Academic English. I hope you will stay and let's learn together. So, see ya. Again, it's me. This is Academic English again, 10.0.0.0.16. I'm Mr. Jamar Largo de la Cruz, and we are now in a week 5 to 6. Okay? So let's continue. The objectives of this unit is you are able to understand academic publishing terminology and structure, listen for key points about peer review, and then be able to draft a cohesive abstract using linking devices. Okay? Next is you're going, hold on for a while. Okay. Next is you're going to distinguish between academic versus popular science writing, and you can simplify a formal abstract into a lay summary, and then be able to discuss differences and give peer feedback. You know what? Feedback is really vital because there are things that you cannot see that it is that you can improve using your presentation. So peer feedback is indeed helpful when you are going to have presentation, speaking, or when you have a report or a lecture. So actually in Japan, they have a peer-to-peer teaching, like teachers to teachers, they teach each other. Okay? Because we are not perfect. We have weaknesses and we have also strength. So it could be that our weakness is the strength of others and our strength is the weakness of others. So you can help each other. Alright, so let's continue now. The lesson 3 is all about university research. Okay, so before we will start, work in pairs and answer the question. Number 1, does your chair, department, or faculty have a website focusing on the academic work done by its members? Or if yes, what does it contain? Have you visited such websites of our universities? If yes, why? Okay, here's the thing. In the university, our university, Rajabat University, we have a lot of, in our site, we have a lot, like more courseware, where you can study free sometimes, and others are, most of it are free, that you are going to learn a lot of videos. So I encourage you to check that one, right? So that is our site all about. We offer those kind of things in our site. So bear with us, all right? Now, this is the reading focus one. So I, by the way, put everything here in the slides because, if you don't have the book, then you can see it here. So this is the article. So read the text below and say what its function and its university prospectus. Okay? So this is the article. I will give you time to read, or else you can pause the video so that you can read this one. Okay? Moving on. So let's move on now to the next slide. So what information would you expect to find in a text about the research mentioned above? So look through the text, research areas and activity 5 quickly. Were your predictions correct? So match these topics to the sections in the prospectus. Letter A, research projects aimed at environmental issues. B, a research for ways to improve the lives of specific groups of people. C, development of instruments for research. D, a combination of traditional and modern research methodology. E, a list of various academic fields. And F, the connection between research and policy making. All right. So let's proceed now. So this is the research areas. So number 1 is life sciences. Okay, remember this one here. Okay, so we are going to match these topics to the sections in the prospectus. Number one, we have life sciences. So pause it and let's read. Okay, next, engineering and applied sciences. Remember our activity a while ago. Arts and humanities. Social science. These are the prospectus. So, this is the thing now. This is the answer, okay? I hope your answer is correct, the same like this. Life sciences are research projects aimed at environmental issues. It mentions climate change, influenza outbreaks, GM food, and nuclear power. Number three, engineering and applied sciences. It's C. That's letter C. Development of instruments for research. Number four, it talks about computational tools, materials, devices, and engineering solutions. Number five, the arts and humanities. It's letter D. This is a combination of traditional and modern research methodology. Number six, traditional humanities plus internet and social software. Number seven, social sciences. That's letter F. The connection between research and policy making. And number eight, it says research helps inform public policy. Let's go to this one. This is the reading focus 2. As you can see, we have here the pie chart for figure 1 and the line graph for figure 2, okay, or the bar graph. You are going to read about the results of the survey. Before reading, study the diagrams, predict what the survey is all about. So we have the pie chart, then we have the bar graph. So the respondents are 647 for pie chart for figure 1. So arts and humanities 10%, physical sciences and engineering 45%, social sciences 13%, biological and biomedical sciences 32%. Obviously, the physical sciences and engineering is more than everything, so that's 45%. All right, for the bar graph or the line graph, so we have here the figure 2, to pursue a career in research, to enhance my career in prospects inside academia, to research my field, and the others. So the highest there is pursue a career in research. So let's read the results of the survey, okay? So study the predict. What is the survey is all about, do you think? There you go. So read about the survey and answer the questions. So were your predictions correct? Can you think of a title for the text? What is the purpose of the text? Okay? The UK grad program works with employers, universities, researchers, and other stakeholders to embed personal and professional development for postgraduate researchers. We conducted this survey to better understand postgraduate researchers' motivations for undertaking a PhD and to gain an insight into their career expectation. We hope that this data may be useful to recruiters and potential recruiters targeting the PhD sector and in developing resource plans. Additionally, we hope that the data may be useful to anyone interested in the career motivation and expectation of UK doctoral researchers. And continue. So motivation, the themes merging from the survey for the survey are as follows. So for the motivations, there are wide variety and breadth of reasons. Career expectation, although the survey group seem to have considered the benefits, please read the career expectation, bridging knowledge gap, and this is the answer, okay? For activity 13, were your predictions correct? Yes, the predictions were correct because the survey is about the students undertake a PhD and their career motivation and expectation, as you can see in the line graph or the bar graph a while ago. Did you see that one? The highest is pursuing, right? So it can be predictable because you can see that the highest number is 319, right? Can you think of a title for the text, Motivations and Career Expectations of PhD Researchers is Possible? Other possible titles could be, all right? You can choose yours. And then what is the purpose of the text? The purpose is to present the results of the survey about postgraduate researchers, motivations for doing PhD, and their career expectations. Next, for activity 14, judging by the breakdown of the respondents by subject, in which research areas is more progress likely to be made. So physical sciences and engineering, because they have the largest percentage of respondents, 45%. Then number two, how many PhD students took the survey? What is the total number of responses? This is correct, by the way, number one, because as you can see there, physical sciences and engineering got the highest, which is 45%. How many PhD students took part in the survey? So why is there a difference between the number? The number of PhD students is 647. The total responses in figure 2, which is the bar graph or the line graph, is 1,140. The reason, respondents could choose, hold on, sorry about that, more than one answer, so the number of responses is higher than the number of participants. So that's the reason why.
Listening, can we talk? So to start as lead in, do you agree with the idea politeness is an international concept? Why or why not? For language focus, how can you start a conversation at a professional event with a person you do not know? Check the functions below and think of the example phrases. So to first, like if you are in a conference and you don't know people there, you can initiate the conversation with a polite request. Give the detail about your job somehow to start the conversation, or pay a compliment like, hey, you know what, I like your bag, and then, or I like your shoes somehow, or I like your style, something like that. Or talk about the weather, ask for advice. I think, yeah, you can start like, example, you're sitting beside with a person, so you can ask like, hey, how about the presentation a while ago? What advice or blah blah blah. So you can start like that. Be friendly. That's it. Okay, so that is how you're going to do. All right. Now, moving on, we have to the statements below are true or false. Okay, the speakers know each other well, so you're going to continue by listening. So here are the sentences from number 1 to 6. So let's listen.
Track 47. Excuse me, I know we haven't met before, but could I have a word with you, please?
Yes, of course.
I just heard your presentation. It was fantastic, very inspirational. I really enjoyed it, and I learned a lot.
I'm glad. That's really kind of you. Thank you. What's your interest in my field of work?
Well, I'm a researcher and I work at a university. And actually, that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, because I saw you've done a lot of work with the government through your research, and that's something I want to do.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of government research, but
Not an easy thing to do, I have to say.
could you give me some advice? I'm sorry if I'm bothering you.
No. I'd be delighted because it's great to meet someone else who's interested in the same sort of issues that I am.
All right, very good. So let's proceed now to the next slide. Thank you for listening. After the conference, and decide if the statements below are true or false again. So we have statements here for a while. Number 1, the speakers know each other well. Okay. Number 2, the man starts, hold on for a while. The man starts the conversation. It's true. The man pays the presenter a compliment. It's true. The man wants to talk to the presenter because she also works at a university. That's false. And the man wants the government to support his research. That is so true because he's asking for a fund or a support. The man feels it's all right if he asks the presenter for feedback of his research. And that is true because he mentioned there that he's open for the conversation or for feedback. Moving on, in the phrases below. So we have numbers 1 to 6 here, and we'll listen, and then I want you to fill in the words. So let's see. So let's listen.
Track 47.
Excuse me, I know we haven't met before, but could I have a word with you, please?
Yes, of course.
I just heard your presentation. It was fantastic, very inspirational. I really enjoyed it, and I learned a lot.
I'm glad. That's really kind of you. Thank you. What's your interest in my field of work?
Well, I'm a researcher and I work at a university. And actually, that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, because I saw you've done a lot of work with the government through your research, and that's something I want to do.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of government research, but
Not an easy thing to do, I have to say.
could you give me some advice? I'm sorry if I'm bothering you.
No. I'd be delighted because it's great to meet someone else who's interested in the same sort of issues that I am.
All right, so here are the answers. For number 1, could I have a word with you, please? Number 2, I just heard your presentation and it was excellent, very inspirational. I really enjoyed it and I learned a lot. 3, I'm a researcher and I work at a university. And actually, that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you because I saw you've done a lot of work with the government through your research, and that's something I want to do. Could you give me some advice? I'm sorry if I'm bothering you. So these are the things or the missing words in the phrases. All right, let's continue. Identify the functions of the phrases in activity 4 and use the list in activity 2 to help you. So 1, listening for relevant information. 2, make predictions about the way the conversation might develop. And complete the phrases below with what could help to win. Government support for research. First of all, you have to have some really good presentation or somehow presentation or proposal. So let's proceed now to speaking. So the tip is do not apologize. If you think that you are not very good at presenting, if you decide to present, the audience assumes that you will be prepared. So I want you, when you are presenting, do not ever say, hey, I'm sorry, I am not good in presentation. Do not do that one, okay? You have to do your best in front of the people because, as I told you a while ago, we have 60 seconds, okay, to impress or to make the audience feel or to get the attention of the audience. 60 seconds only, that's 1 minute. And all you have to do, you're going to impress them with that 1 minute. They don't know what you're presenting. So you are the master of your presentation. So do not be scared, okay? So you can do it, all right? Now let's continue. Beginnings, provide feedback using the following questions as guidelines. Did the presenters greet the audience? Did they introduce themselves, the topic, and the plan? Did they mention, and so on? I want you to talk, give feedback to your friend or to the members of the group so that you are going to develop you are going to improve your presentation. And there's nothing wrong to get mistakes, okay? There's nothing wrong that you are getting feedback from other people, and that is really good, okay? So all you have to do is be submissive. Be submissive, learn the feedback, and that's it. You are going to improve your presentation. Okay, so Like for example, in fact, in Japan, actually, they're going to have a peer-to-peer teaching. I mean, teachers to teachers, they're going to teach each other. They do feedback because that is really improving you, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is really improving you, helping you. Okay. All right. Let's move on. This one, I have a tip for you. While making a presentation, you need to support your ideas, and this is the functionality of your presentation. So, okay, while making a presentation, you need to supporting ideas. So, tip for that one, while making a presentation, you need to support your ideas. The general rule for the idea is that statement of your idea, explanation, clarification, example or illustration. In example or illustration, you need to make something creative. It could be a joke, it could be a video, it could be a testimony from the audience so that you are going to connect with them or they have time to share their experiences. And also, that's the time for you to tell stories, funny joke, funny stories, or funny illustration, so that you are going to get their attention. So as I mentioned, you have to be interactive during your presentation as much as possible. Look at the language support box below and choose phrases that can help you support the statement on the card. So language support supporting ideas. So with factual information, the statistics show that and more. It is a well-known fact that, okay, so actually or in fact, to illustrate this, I can provide some numbers and so on. For comparing and contrasting, we have it, let's compare it with this blank and then it's the same as blank with evidence according to, with reference to, claims that, is in favor of or against. With a description, this process involves such steps as the condition in which X is shaped as, is integral to, something like that. Hold it for a while. You're going to give a 3-minute presentation as what I told you. To get ready to the task below, choose one of the following options. Imagine that you are talking to the meeting of the research board, making a case for continued funding for the research. Talk about your research. Then B, imagine that you're talking to a foreign guest who have come to visit your university. Then you give the information necessary for a collaborative project between the institutions. Prepare a mini presentation about your university. C, practice a short presentation of your own choice or continue the one you started in activity 9. All right? So, it's your choice now to make the 3-minute presentation by choosing A, B, or C. Make sure to apply the things I told you before the slides. Think of what you can conclude in presentation. Write a plan, prepare a language you need, and make notes. Write the text of your presentation to structure your presentation and use phrases from the language support box that I mentioned a while ago. Okay? The contrast, the evidence, the contradiction, those things are very applicable in your presentation. In speaking, okay? In presenting in front of the crowd. For language support closing a presentation, we can use these things. First, we looked at and we saw that the event is blah, and then we consider, and I argue that, something like this. In conclusion, I like to emphasize that, so these things are very applicable in making or closing the presentation. Let's proceed now to writing. This is now writing. So in this unit, actually unit 3 is all about writing in abstract. And I'm going to discuss this to you for week 7 and 8 9, 10, and 11, and 12 for 3 weeks, for 6 weeks, because you are going to make a lot to do this task. It's long. So this is the objectives of this unit: structure and abstract. So which we'll be doing in week 7 and 8. Connect parts of the abstract using linking words. Notice particular features of abstracts from different fields of study. Write an abstract for an article. This is what we are going to do. Okay. All right, so lesson one, make your abstract cohesive. So it means that it should be connected, it should be clear, precise, and connected to your article, of course, because an abstract itself, it means that it it is a blueprint of your articles. So it's something like a summary, it's something like a blueprint, like it's you're building a house and there's a blueprint that you can see. This is what the abstract is. So this is the first page of your article when you publish an article. So to start, I would like to ask you this question. How often do you write articles? What else do you have to write when you submit an article? So, if you haven't had an experience for writing an article, how about like what article have you read? What have you noticed? Okay. So, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not, even if you're not writing an article yet, I'm sure you have read or you can read the article so that you can see how the abstract is done. Writing an abstract, work in groups and complete the spidergram about your experience of writing abstracts. So we have here questions like what, how, why, something like these things. Okay, so you are going to create a spidergram with your friends, and then answer these questions. Your experience reading or writing an abstract. Okay, so if you have no experience writing an abstract, how about reading an abstract? But if you haven't read an abstract yet, I encourage you to read now and then answer these questions, this activity. Okay. Now, structure of an abstract is number one, we have the background, the aims, the approach, the results, and conclusion. These five structure is an important structure to create, to construct an abstract. So remember, background, aims, approach, results, and conclusion. So, what was the purpose of the research? We have A to E here. What were the main findings? What did the research lead to? What was the context of the work? What were the methods used in the research? Be mindful of these things because you're going to match this. You're going to match the part of the abstract into the questions of A, B, C, D, and E. And these are the answers. Oh no, yes, these are the answers. So the findings of the research illustrate how for A and B, C, D, and E. Read this article's abstract and say if the authors agree that having computers at school leads to change in teaching. So let's read this article's abstract. All right, so this is the abstract. I want you to take. Very good. So let's proceed now. Divide the abstract into the 5 parts listed in the activity 3 that I mentioned a while ago. Number 1 is the background, the approach, the results, the conclusion, and the aim. Again, background, aim, approach, result, and the conclusion. So you have to divide the articles that I showed you a while ago, this one. You have to divide it into 5 parts with the things I mentioned: the background, the aim, the approach, the result, and the conclusion. Okay, thank you. Next. Thank you so much for your time.